Hi folks, welcome back to another little episode. Today we're going to be looking at spring carp fishing, and for me springtime is one of the most exciting times of year. The carp are starting to move, they're in the margins and they're really starting to patrol the lakes. Now the water's started to warm up, they're very much active and they're starting to feed. Even though it's early spring and they have started to move, the carp do tend to like snaggy areas. So if you've got any snaggy bushes or overhanging trees or underwater snags, they're always a good area to target. For me, snag fishing is probably one of the most exciting ways to catch carp. It's really art pounding stuff. You've got to be on your rods. It's a single beep, an old sort of style. It's a bit brutal, but God, it gets your heart racing. And for me, there is no better way for spring is to really get into the carp. They're only just starting to wake up, so they're not as strong as they are in the summer, so you can get them away from the snags a lot easier than you would later on in the year. So this time of year, it is really good to effectively use snag fishing safely, and it is so rewarding. And like I say, it's literally art-stopping stuff. So anyway, I'm going to get back to my fishing now, and we'll run through my rigs and everything as we go further through the day. I'm going to go over my rigs now. Like I say, I am snag fishing, so my rigs are quite brutal. You don't mess around, you want good strong terminal tackle. You've got to be safe as well, so everything you've got to emphasise safety. So anything that can happen, if anything the worst can happen, your line parts or anything like that, your leads drop and they can actually run free and the fish will run safe and undamaged. Firstly, we're going to look at the rig. This is my little variation. It is a Ronnie rig, but it's an adapted one. It's slightly different to what everybody else uses. It's much bigger hook. I prefer to use a longshank for it. And on the back of the hook, if you see, I've got actually like a slip D. So it gives me that little bit of movement on the back of the hook as well. The rig itself is I'm actually using 35-pound boom material, and I crimp that. I like crimping because it's super neat, very strong and very reliable as well, and that'll just sit nicely on the deck. Short length of rig tubing, lead clip arrangement with the tail rubber just nipped on, so when I get the take it will just drop the lead. And then again on the hook link I've got a quick change swivel there with a tiny bit of an anti-tangle sleeve just on the end, just to give it an inch. I tend to put a bit of foam on as well when I cast out. I don't really put PVA bags or fear offerings, and what that does, that when it hits the bottom it will stay upright like that. As the foam dissolves it will slowly fall into position, and then that's my hook bait perfect where I want it. That's my rig for snag fishing. Like I say, it's brutal stuff, it's heavy, but it's reliable. And that's what I want when I'm trying to catch big fish and pull them away from snags safely. That's my reward. £20 and 15 ounce gravel pit common carp. Beautiful fish, and hell of a scrap as well. Wow. This snag fishing is airy stuff. It gets your heart racing, that is for certain. What a fish, and what a way to start my gravel pit spring campaign. Wow. Right, she's been out for long enough now. We've got some nice snaps. I'm going to let her go. What a fish. Wow. That's what it's all about. Beautiful gravel pit carp. Time to let her go. Go on, baby. Go back home. That's just about it for this episode, folks. I'm going to sit back, enjoy my cup of tea, watch the sunset and try and make the most of my last bit of time on the bank. Just keep your eyes peeled. The next video will be up in a week or so, and it's going to be a video explaining how I set my rods up and what rods and what reels I use for snag fishing. Hope you found this video useful, and if you do find it useful, hit the subscribe button for some more content. Thanks again, and see you in the next one.